The disposition to teach has been identified as the most influential quality of highly effective educators. Dispositions are the values, commitments, and professional ethics that influence the behaviors towards students, families, colleagues, and communities and affect student motivation, development, as well as the educator's own professional growth. This video serves to explain and elaborate my own personal dispositions to teach. The dispositions that I possess that I think will make me a successful teacher are that I solidly believe that teachers should believe in all students and their ability to learn, and that teachers should set and support realistic expectations for student success. This is imperative to students being able to believe in themselves. When a student knows in their heart that their teacher believes in them, they're able to then believe in themselves. I also firmly believe that educators should be sensitive to individual learning and the social needs of individual students and embrace the cultural diversity of the community. By doing this, we're able to better diversify our ability to teach as well as our students' ability to learn. We're able to teach students what empathy and inclusion is, which is a huge part of being effective in today's society and today's classrooms. I believe that educators should exercise sound judgment and ethical behavior. I think it is our responsibility to make sure that by displaying ethical behavior and sound judgment, we teach by demonstration. Students will learn what ethics are and how to demonstrate integrity by watching teachers and paying attention to the actions and the words that we speak in the classroom and how we speak to our students. I believe that educators should promote and support curiosity and encourage active inquiry. It is detrimental to a student's progress when a teacher discourages questions or inquiries. Teachers should encourage students to question their teaching in a respectful and a productive manner in the classroom. By doing so, it sparks creativity and increases learning for that student with the questions as well as their peers. This also allows the teacher opportunities to prepare their lessons more thoughtfully in the future to anticipate these types of questions and others for future classes and future students. I believe that educators should model integrity by their words and their actions, as I previously said. Students are constantly learning and constantly growing, as are we all, but especially the younger ones. In high school and elementary school, students learn what is right and wrong on the gray areas by how we address them, by how we address those situations, and by how we handle those situations ourselves. It's imperative that when there is a gray area, we take the time to explain to the student why we made the choices that we made, and if we make a poor choice, how we could have made a better choice in the future. I believe that educators should demonstrate professional friendliness, warmth, and genuine caring in their relationships with others while providing intellectual, emotional, and spiritual support. I believe this does not stop with our students. I believe this includes our peers. Teachers need teachers. I believe this includes our administration. And I believe that this also includes our parents and our community members. When we demonstrate professional friendliness, that doesn't mean we have to be friends with everybody around us. We need to maintain the professionalism that is expected of a teacher and an educator, but we should always be approachable, warm, and genuine in all of our interactions so that no one feels that they are unable to come to us with any inquiry or any concern, whether it be the student themselves, the parents who want to talk about their students' progress, or even our administrators or peers that may come to us for support or follow-up. I believe that teachers should understand the effect of community involvement and become servant leaders as it applies to the welfare of others in the educational setting. We are what we have. No one understands better how to support other teachers than teachers themselves. It is our responsibility and our duty to show due diligence in providing that support and providing that community involvement and being the cheerleader for ourselves and our peers when they be lacking that spirit themselves. I believe that educators should be committed to the profession of teaching and learning. Teaching, learning how to be a teacher doesn't stop when you get your degree and cross your stage, or even when you complete your mandatory continuing education. Being an educator is a lifelong learning process. And if we're to raise and educate and promote lifelong learning in our students, we have to believe that that's a process that we are seeking ourselves. I believe that the dispositions that I need to work on before I enter the classroom as a first-year teacher is my ability to promote social justice and maintain appropriate standards of fairness in all areas. The reason I say this is not because I feel that I would be unfair in a negative manner towards any student, but I can be unfairly compassionate at times. I have a big heart and a bleeding heart, and personally, I tend to, on occasion, allow more allowance than may be fair in certain situations. Treating everyone fair does not mean treating everyone the same, but it does mean treating everyone the way that they deserve to be treated. And if you allow yourself to be too empathetic, you may allow students to take advantage of you, and that's something that I need to work on. Another area that I need to work on is recognizing that reflection combined with experience will lead to growth as a professional. While I do understand this currently, I understand also that as an educator, we can get caught up in the day-to-day, and especially as a new teacher, you can get caught up in just preparing the lessons and being observed and doing a good job from one day to the next. And it can be hard to focus on the long term in that first year as a teacher and continuing your learning and your growth instead of just what you're producing and putting up a good face so that your evaluation that year comes off positive. Being a professional educator, to me, looks like the standards that guide your thinking and actions are the actions that you want your students and your peers to display. Being a professional educator to me looks like commitment. It looks like dedication. It looks like strength. And it looks like questioning. I think to be a good educator, you must always question yourself, your peers, and your administration, not in a disrespectful manner, but in a manner that approaches any topic with how can we do better? How can we do better for ourselves? How can we do better for our community? And how can we do better for our students? And if those questions are always being presented to yourself, your peers, and your administration, I don't think that you can ever miss the mark or consider yourself to be a poor educator.